Hello there, welcome back. This is another horror for Halloween. This time it's Monkey Shines by George Romero. This was made in the late 80s and was released to basically critical and commercial indifference. Just people weren't interested in it. I saw it in video just after that. I mean, I saw it very early in its run basically because it didn't do well in America, but good reviews coming over here, so it was like, plus George Romero's reputation, so it was like, here's a film you should have to try and watch. So I watched it since that video, and it's great, it's terrific. I've always loved this film. It's always been I thought it was underrated. It's always had a, you know, it was one of those films she's always, from the late 80s, something Manhunter was another one where its reputation was much higher than you know, its box office. It was always one of those underrated films that people were always saying, you should see this is unusual, this is different. And I think if it was released now it would do a lot better. I mean, it's a lot of its virtues are things that seem to not be in vogue in the late 80s, which was like a slow build to the plot, not much gore, a lot of character work, a look at a social issue which is unusual to look at in a film. And you know, and animal cruelty, and it's all this stuff is a subtext, but it's also got a good thriller thing. But it's a nice little thriller, but it's also got other elements to it that make it very interesting throughout, even before the thriller mechanics take off. So the basic plot is this guy who's a runner, he's a law student, but he also does a lot of, you know, running. He's always team sports. He's in university. At the beginning, while he's out jogging, he gets hit by a truck and gets paralysed from the neck down. He's just pretty much, all his dreams are over. He goes from someone who's very happy with his life to someone who is raging and angry and disappointed and basically suicidal. And it really takes his time in that element. I mean, it gives you a good 20 minutes of watching him slowly go from being someone who was hopeful to someone who's been destroyed and down that line towards death. And then after that point is his friend, who's a scientist who's been doing experiments on monkeys, decides to try and help him out by faking the death of one of the monkeys and giving it to an animal trainer so this monkey can be trained to help him. And it seems to work. So again, you get a whole section of this monkey getting trained and then learning how to deal with this paraplegic. And you basically see him start to come back to life, start to feel there's a purpose. He starts to study law again, and he starts to find, yeah, this limitation in life, but I can survive it. All this thing takes time, and the film really has the patience to do it. So it takes about half the film before the thriller aspects really click in. But that's what's great about it. You're really invested in the story, so even when it's a thriller, you're still interested in the story as well. All the character beats are always fascinating. So during this time, the person who's trained the monkey starts a relationship with the paraplegic, and you start to see an interesting dynamic between two people who are very different in career and abilities, and she sees him as a person rather than just a person who's been afflicted by spine damage. Again, all this stuff develops slowly, and then that's when the genetics that were stuck into the monkey's head to start with start to create a bond between the monkey and the guy, so that it seems to read his thoughts, and he can see when he's angry and who's making him angry, and the monkey starts off playing tricks on the people who makes him angry, and then at a certain point it burns down a cabin where the guy's ex-girlfriend and his doctor, who may have misdiagnosed him, are sleeping together. So that becomes into murder, and that's when the paranoia starts to kick in and all these other elements happen. I'm not going to say any more about the plot because I'm hoping this is an encouragement to go see this film. It's on because we just released it as a new Blu-ray. I mean, I've seen it plenty of times even before this came out because it's a terrific film. I mean, it's a horror film, but it's not a gore film. I mean, if you've seen stuff like the other Shyamalan films or something like that, which are more deliberately paced and it's all of a character, if you like those, you probably like this. This is character based. There's nothing really in it that's cheap. There's one thing the studio enforced on them that's a cheap shock, but that's one shock in almost 2 hours of film. The rest of the time is very subtle. And when the suspense really starts, there's some terrific sequences. And it's all based on limitations of this guy who can't walk. He can't move at all. And so it makes him versus a monkey a much more evenly matched situation. And the whole thing is also psychological because he feels guilt over what's happening because the monkey's feeding off his raw energies or his rage. And things just escalate because of whoever annoys him is the target. So there's tons of nice little character details throughout the film. The performances are all great. I mean, it's a low budget film, or a kind of medium low budget. So they're not stars. They're just actors who know what they're doing and they perform properly. And it's actually good there's no stars in this because you kind of needed people who weren't, that well known. It needed to feel like much more like tied to real life rather than a star playing a person who's been paralysed. So that really works. Also the direction is nice because it's subtle, it's not over the top. Because George Romero, even though he's made some the zombie films which have a lot of over the top gore, he's always been a fairly classical filmmaker. He doesn't do a lot of show-offy shots or anything. He just tells the story very carefully. He's not trying to say, here, look at me, really, in his camera work. And that really works this film because there's a lot of patience. And he knows how to keep the suspense going, he knows how to keep the interest going in the first half when it's all character work. Allowing you to know there's going to be some payoff for all your patience. So there's always something going on that's interesting. So he treats this as a character film first and a suspense film later. And the suspense comes, it really comes, he really delivers there, but he's more about this guy's situation, how he deals with it, and the monkey song is a metaphor for how he's feeling and how he gets through it. And that's the whole setup of the film, is what's in this guy's head. So that's what's great about the film. I don't want to say much more about it, but again, it's encouraging to try and go see this one. This is really good. This is a terrific little film. And it's one of George Romero's underrated late 80s, early 90s films. He also did The Dark Half, which is also an interesting film. And then he seemed to have problems getting films made after that for a while. Which is annoying because he was really strong at that time. He'd really developed his craft by then, so it would have been nice to see him in the 90s actually get the budget to go and do some stuff because he'd really honed his craft by then, but it wasn't meant to be. So, so try and see this film. It's great. It's really underrated. It's been one of those little films that's been well known to horror people, has been good, but the mainstream don't seem to know much about it. So please go see it. Okay, bye. I'll be back with another horror for Halloween pretty soon.